This is the Succeed Against the Odds podcast. My name is Francesca Anastasi, also known as Sabea. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I'm your host and mentor. And each week we bring you an inspiring person, an expert, or message to help you ignite and unleash your potential. Welcome back to another episode of the Succeed Against the Odds show. Today I have a very special episode because for the very first time I have two guests at the same time. Michelle Falcone, who is a life coach. If you've watched our previous episodes, you may have caught the interview that we've done before. And Rnold Smith, who is the president and CEO of the Habits Factory. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
Hi, Francesca.
You're very welcome. Very pleased to have you both here because I know you have been working on something very exciting, and just the name of the company here already says it. The Habits Factory. Can you please tell me what that is about, how you guys came to work together? Because last time I talked to you, Michelle, I don't think you were working on this. So this is exciting. I love new projects. Tell us more.
Rnold, I'll let you start.
When you look at the Habit Factory, one of the things that we see, and this is one of the reasons why Michelle is so aligned with this project, is that in life, one of the biggest challenges is actually implementing the new behaviors that are going to give us different results. And so what I saw over and over again in my life, and also with the people I've worked with, is that you would get this great information, and it would be you could see clearly how it would have an impact. But then after a week or 2 weeks, somehow the ideas just went away, and then you ended up being exactly where you were. And really, the Habit Factory, Inc., is the idea that we want to help people actually implement the information they learn so they get new results in their life. And that's where so many change initiatives fail, is in that implementation stage. And so we use technology to support that. So we're a company that's about using technology to support behavior change.
Now you have an app, correct? You have an app that you've been working on. Can you tell us about that itself? What's it called?
Well, it's called the Connection app, and it's our first product. And for our first product, we really wanted to target something that would have the biggest impact on a person's happiness. So the research has clearly shown that the thing that impacts your happiness the most is the quality of your relationships with your significant other and then other people in your life. And when you look at the demands of our society today, oftentimes those relationships get squeezed out from other commitments, whether it be work or kids, or that pesky screen time with your phone or TV. And so often people start neglecting their important relationships in little ways. And then the connection kind of wanes. And we thought that was a big problem and wanted to do something about that.
So does the app work one way, where is it just one person that has it, or is it like, let's say, in a relationship, or do the people that are in that relationship both have the app and use it together?
Why don't you take that one, Michelle?
It can go both ways. So you can use the app independently and play the challenges on your own, where you're practicing the habits and just focusing on yourself and working on your own habits in relationships. Or you can partner up with your partner, and you invite them to join you, and then you do the challenges together. And it's designed in a very fun way. And what is so incredible about it is that you are actually practicing these habits. So you are making the change and integrating them into your daily routine while having fun doing it.
So one of the biggest barriers to actually changing any habits is that it's actually really tough to do. The idea that trying to do something big or difficult really requires so many of our personal resources to do that you're way more likely to be successful with a habit change if it's easy to do. And so that's one of the reasons why we looked for in our research, we looked for behaviors that are really proven by solid research to increase connection, but are also easy to integrate into your daily routines.
And I have also, just experienced myself, Francesca, and also observed through many of my clients that we all fall into these unhealthy habits in our relationships, that we put our relationship on the back burner. It seems to be this habit in itself that when our lives are busy and we have all these commitments, that it's our relationship that we put on the back burner, when actually that is the exact opposite thing of what we should be doing, because our relationship with the person that is closest to us is our strength and our foundation. So that is what we should be prioritizing. And the app is designed that it actually has you focusing on your relationship first, making it a priority rather than all these external commitments and that we have going on in our lives.
What was the key factor, like in creating your company, the Habits Factory Inc.? Like, I understand that it is about getting those habits, because we tend to fall back into the old habits and hard to get into the new habits and keep those long term. Was there something that triggered you specifically to go in that direction with the company?
Well, I think that maybe slightly more interesting is the genesis for the connection app or the connection challenges within the app. And when I got married in 2005, I was just so happy, and I still am 13 years later. We just have a wonderful marriage, and it's just a source of never-ending joy for me. And yet, a lot of my friends or people I would meet would have relationships that were just okay. And, I just thought, honestly, I felt bad for these people. I thought, I want you to experience the amazing feelings that I have. And so I just thought, well, it'd be great if I could impact that in the world. If there was something that I could do, if it could be that I could help people really experience more of that love and joy every day, then that's what I wanted. And that was, 12 years ago when I had that idea, and I didn't really know how to do it, and it wasn't, it's been a sort of a journey of exploration around, understanding how people change and what could be done, and then really kind of seeing that this could be the source of that.
Are you the techie as well, or did you outsource the technical side of the creation of the app?
No, we outsourced the creation of the app, and the crazy story is, so I am with the New Westminster Chamber of Commerce. I'm on the board, and so I really wanted to hire someone in New Westminster, and so we reached out to this company, and we didn't know much about them, but when we got together with them, we hired them eventually, and they were just lovely people. Our technical director, he had started building websites when there was only 60,000 pages on the web in total. He was there right at the beginning, and so we ended up hiring this amazing team to develop our app who had incredible experience. And in fact, they were originally hired as contractors, but they loved the idea so much that they have now become our actual full-time tech team. So even though we're releasing, we've just released the app version 1.0, we have a whole roadmap for new functionality that we're going to add as we go along. And we have this team backing us. So we're super fortunate.
It's mind-blowing. It really is. And the synergy that we all have between each other is just so remarkable.
It's great to have a good team. Now, Michelle, what led you to go in this direction?
Is so aligned with the work that I'm already practicing. How this all came about, though, is I was working with Rnold in New Westminster. We were hosting monthly events for New Westminster and the Lower Mainland. Actually, I think you attended one time, Francesca. You did, the BCN meetings. And while we were working together, we, discovered that we worked together very well. And then Rnold shared his idea with me. He's actually been researching and working and writing a book, which will be released in the near future, for about 4 years on this project. And so he shared it with me, and I absolutely loved it. And then he invited me to partner up with him. And I just saw it as an incredible opportunity. I'm actually so grateful and honored that he chose me to be his partner with this.
I just got to say, it was the best decision I ever made. Michelle is just so wonderful to work with. I think one of her true gifts as a coach is that she really helps people to, step into their future, helps them to eliminate the doubt and to really go for it. And so to having her part of this dream really helped me to confidently move forward. And it's been so wonderful.
Well, thank you, Rnold. Back to your question, it really did have it really resonated with me on a personal level as well, because as you know, Francesca, I have experienced divorce. I've actually had 2 failed marriages in my life. And through that, I really learned about myself and the unhealthy habits that I had and how they were affecting my relationships. So through my own self-growth and development and doing a lot of inner work, I really chose to be on this path of healthy relationships and modeling that and being that and practicing that in my present relationship, which has made all the difference in the world. So it just really resonated with me on a very core level, which, of course, just felt like I need to be a part of this.
I think what you're doing is wonderful. I think this is a great idea. I think relationship is probably one of the biggest challenges in the world. A lot of people, whether it's in couples or just in general, working on ourselves is key to communication, and that communication also goes into the relationship and the quality of our life in the end.
Right now, the app is designed for couples, but in the near future, we really see that there's a bit of a crisis of human connection in our society. And so there will be challenges for single people soon as well if you're not in a relationship. And, so many people are lonely. There was recently a study done in the UK of 55,000 people, and they found that 40% of people aged 16 to 24 reported being lonely most of the time. And that's a staggering number. It's such an epidemic there that the government has actually appointed a minister of loneliness to address they consider it a public health crisis.
Really?
Yeah. And and the numbers, in North America and Canada and the US aren't that far off. I think they're a little lower, but, people are getting fed from their digital connections. The technology taps perfectly into the dopamine response in our brains, and so it makes us feel good. The problem is that is also what leads to addiction. And what truly feeds our health is actually, when you have that human connection, when you connect in person, when you have these micro moments of positivity with another human being. And this artificial reward that we get from digital interactions is actually making us quite sick. And so we're, we want to make a difference for that.
Can you share, how does the app work? Can you give an example? How long do you have to be on the app? Is it just a notification you get on things to do? How does it work?
So first of all, we're targeting people's habits because at the end of the day, doing short-term gains like going on date or getting information doesn't necessarily have a lasting impact. And we're targeting the behaviors that are proven by science to increase those feelings of connection. And so essentially the habit almost works like a health challenge. So instead of challenging yourself to exercise every day or to eat a certain way every day, we're challenging you to focus on these certain behaviors, which we call the connection habits. And so when you do those every day, you get to experience that connection with your partner. And one of the ways that is the best way to improve habits is actually to track them. So if you simply just wrote down what you ate every day, science says you're likely to lose weight. So simply tracking your behaviors every day is one of the ways to increase a habit. The problem is that's extremely boring and no fun. And so most people stop before it actually becomes a habit. And so what we've done is we've made it fun and easy. So that's the first step. So inside the habit, the app, there's a really easy way to track those habits and rate your progress. But we also reward you for doing that behavior. So for example, at the end of December, we're going to be giving away a cruise from San Diego back to Vancouver. So you'll fly down to San Diego and then come in cruise. And you win that simply by participating in the challenges. And when you do your tracking for a week, you get a prize entry. And so that's just one of the ways we incentivize it. And there'll be other prizes as we move along. Then we also partner with companies who want to support our idea. So the idea of supporting love and a connection is important to them. And so they have products and services that enhance couples and in various ways, whether it be spas or lingerie or restaurants or hotels. And so they offer rewards that you can earn. So as you're playing this challenge, you're gaining points, which then you can use for real world rewards. Now, of course, at the end of the day, the ultimate reward is the feelings of love and connection you have with your partner. But it's also nice to actually get these little extra rewards. And so that's why it's in there. It adds that extra bit of incentive to do the things that we know that are proven to lead to habit formation. So I think in a nutshell, that's kind of how it works.
So I can see people downloading the app so they can get the prizes, but then in the end, they get the reward, even if they had gone in there for the wrong motive, right?
That's right, yeah.
Exactly.
It's a smokescreen, but don't tell them that, okay? Don't tell anybody it's a smokescreen. Oh,
no, we will not tell anyone. Only the people who are listening to this.
They're the privileged information.
What's also been a lot of fun that I've been getting feedback from participants using it, and even myself using it with my partner Dave, is that you have this this app that is very personal, and you're connecting with each other through it. So there's this option that I can send Dave a heart or a hug, or let him know that I'm happy, and he can do the same. And it's just between the two of us. And I find that because it's just so easy, that we're doing that quite often. And I've heard this from other participants, that they just feel more connected, that it's just, having it just makes it easier. It's convenient to do it. Rather than just thinking about it, you're actually taking the action step and doing it. It's very cool.
The app is both on iOS and Android?
Correct.
Easy to find then?
Yeah, easy peasy. And it's a free download. So we have the freemium model. So what that means is that you can download it, you can do challenges, you can get access to most of the features. So one of the things that happens when you're in a challenge, you get delivered a nugget of information that we think will make a difference for you regarding that particular habit or the various connection habits. And so we've invited different thought leaders to contribute. And so that is, beyond, you have to pay for that. But it's only $7 a month for unlimited access. And you can cancel anytime. So we really wanted to make it affordable and accessible. Anything
else we need to know about the app?
Well, I think that, one of the things that we see with the app is, we're just at the beginning. We are looking at implementing, artificial intelligence and machine learning to help people provide information based on exactly what they're struggling with. We're looking at ways to potentially use wearables such as eyeglass or Fitbit or Apple Watch to help read physiology and impact that, and to how we can include that. So although we're starting with an app, the reason why it's technology-supported behavior change, we have a big vision for utilizing technology to help people. And so we are just at the beginning, and, we're very fortunate that we had this team to create this really nice-looking product that works so well. But we're just getting started. Our website is theconnectionapp.com. But, the key message is focus on your relationships, give them some attention. It's really worth it. It's what is the most fulfilling thing. And The connection app is just an easy way to help you to do that.
And we're committed to helping. We're committed to making together better.
Ooh, good. That should be our tagline.
That really should be.
We are committed to making together better.
For the record, no one else can take that now because it's here, copyrighted right now.
Yeah, it is actually in the process of being one of our registered trademarks.
Well, Michelle and Rnold, it's been a pleasure talking to both of you and finding out what you're up to and this exciting app, helping the world get along better and be happier.
I just want to say one last thing for your listeners. Each of you has something to give, and oftentimes we discount who we are. We look at the sides of ourselves that we are not proud of. But I encourage you to really be yourself and be your unique expression in the world. I think that was my access to building this app. And don't be afraid to let yourself be known. Everybody has their good and the bad, and when you really step into who you are, I think that's when you really get the opportunity to start living the life of your dreams. So I just really encourage everybody out there to do that.
Beautifully said. Go check out the app. The link is in the show notes. And until next time. Thank you so much for listening and for being here today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast, and make sure to share it with your friends. You can find the links mentioned in this episode and all of the show notes on my website at francescaanastasi.com. You can also watch all of our videos on YouTube, where you can also subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/Francesca Anastasi. Once again, thank you so much for being here today. Until next time, embrace your magnificence.